When we're coaching, there are a lot of basics. There are a lot of core fundamental things that we all need to do when we're having coaching conversations. First of all, these are not linear. These are not done in an order that you have to follow every single time, but they are 4 key components of a really good coaching conversation. First, ask questions. So let's say we have an employee, Susie, who has to do more stand-up presentations, and she needs to do it to become potentially a future leader, a well-respected teammate, and just for really good personal development and growth. When we ask questions, we might say, well, Susie, what are some things we need to do to facilitate improvement in your presentation skills? And what goes through your mind when you hear that? Drill down questions might be, how do you think we should do that? Why do you think it's important we do these things? Once we ask questions, first starting with a what question with drill down questions, we expand the learning of the coach. We create greater clarification and understanding. Number 2, often we hear people say, well, you really have to actively listen. For whatever reason, few people understand the true definition of active listening. Active listening is the ability to state back and paraphrase what somebody said and meant. So when I state back to Susie, so Susie, here's what I've heard you say in terms of your presentation skills. Is there anything potentially I've missed? I've built trust. Now let's say I don't state back and I say, well, Susie, if you become a better presenter, I know you want to become promoted as a manager, and this will really help you. And what if she never said that? What if she doesn't even want to be a manager? I've created a lack of trust, albeit with very good intentions. Number 3, seek solutions through questions. So Susie, what do you think we should do to positively pursue better presentation skills? That's a self-actualized question. A what question plus a success imperative. What do you think we should do to successfully pursue these presentation skills we've been talking about? Susie might respond. You could end the coaching conversation with a learning project. Well, Susie, next week, why don't you come in with a list of 2 presentation areas that you want to present on, and one thing that you're going to do with each presentation to prepare you to become more confident, to potentially overcome some of the fear you shared with me. And then we'll discuss those, and then we'll do some practice activities. So the learning project is something they do between coaching sessions. What it does is it maintains momentum between conversations. It keeps the conversation going, but it does something so important. It facilitates ownership on the rightful owner, the person being coached. Now, let's say Susie doesn't really seem interested in becoming a better presenter and she doesn't think it's that important. Remember, as a coach, we cannot own what they choose not to own. So ask questions. Demonstrate active listening by stating back. Seek solutions through questions so they own the action going forward versus you telling them. And then have a learning project tied to the area you're coaching between coaching sessions, and you'll build momentum and ownership.